All right, folks, we're going to do some more structural harmonic exercises that are going to get us hearing and feeling, all these different colors of chords that we're going to be encountering all through jazz and just about every other kind of music, really, if we're thinking about it. But because we're going to be improvising a lot in jazz and making up our own melodies, it's really important to hear this structural, these harmonic qualities, and be able to play them and spell them out so that we can hear them well and play them. So this is called the 5 chord qualities. I'm going to play you the 5 chord qualities here. We're going to start with major. Again, we're starting with major, going toward minor. So we start with the happiest one, and this is Western European, so we're talking about just a regular major scale. Going to Mixolydian scale, which is a flat 7, also a major, but with a flat 7. And then we start into the minors. We're going to start. That's kind of a Dorian mode. We could also play. And then the next one would be like a flat. We're flatting the 5. So that's minor 7, flat 5. Or minor 7, flat 5. And then to the diminished, which is not in the Greek modes at all. So we're just going to be arpeggiating these. I'm just going to play this for you now. We're just going to run through these 5 qualities, starting with the major 7. To the Mixolydian, the dominant 7, 7. Next one is our minor 7. That 7 means it's a flat 7. Okay, if it's a major 7, that's where we specify it. But if we just say 7 or minor 7, that means we're flatting that 7. Okay, the next one is a minor 7 flat 5. So we're flatting the 5 and the 7 and a minor 3rd. And then the last one is diminished, where we flat everything, even the 7th. So what we get is it's a flat 7, double flat 7, which means it's a 6th. So that's the 5 chord qualities that you're going to see in a chord chart in all these different jazz chords. So what we want to be able to do is kind of just run those and hear them in our heads, arpeggiating. Again, major 7. It's a little difficult to talk and play these at the same time. So again, I'll say them, play them with me. Okay, we start with the major 7. Next is the 7, or dominant 7, also a major. And the next is minor 7. Right, the next is minor 7, flat 5. There's our flat 5, 7. Big favorite of Debussy and Ravel and all the jazz dudes. And then the last one is the diminished, in which we flat everything. Big favorite of Beethoven, among others, right? So the diminished. So let's play this again in the key of G, bottom two strings. Here we go. You see these again, it's a little bit like the modes where different notes descend. Things drop. They continue to drop and get more minory from a major situation. So here we go. Major 7. Seven. Minor 7. Minor 7 flat 5. And diminished. That's a tricky one. Let's try that. Slow. Minor. Flat 5. Try your fourth finger. And then first finger, play the E natural. Back up to the... What I want you to be able to do is do that at a reasonable speed, thinking while you're doing it. Major 7. And a slight brain aneurysm there. Let's do it one more time. Major 7. 7. Minor 7. Minor 7 flat 5. Diminished. Now, the trick is to be able to do that in that position. And then we move the whole thing up to the position 1, which the tonic note is on the first finger. So we play, for instance, here, we could play it in A, or we could play it in E, we could play it in B. Let's play it in A, more systematic. So major 7, right? Seven. Minor 7. Minor 7 flat 5. Reach back with your first finger. Right? And diminished. That's a little tricky. That's going to be a whole kind of different thing because we're, right? We've moved our first finger and then we're putting our second finger out in space there. So the second finger is like midway between the first and the fourth finger. Our third finger is kind of waiting around to get back to some other scale. So that's going to be a tricky one. One way we can kind of orient ourselves for this is that note, the 6th, makes what we call a tritone with the minor 3rd. So they're only a half step apart. So we can, if we that's one way that we can kind of orient ourselves to get that note to be in tune. Right?